So yesterday was pretty wild. We got this brand new reveal of a new subline of Transformers that'll be exclusive to Walmart and going up for pre-order on the Walmart Collector Con tomorrow. More info on that later today in today's segment. But it seems we got some more stuff to talk about. Brand new listings that are related to this subline of future product, as well as what is the name of this entire collection, this entire capsule or subline within Walmart. So we're going to dive into that. We're going to give you the history of these brand new listings and what their story is, like we always do here on the Transformers Slag podcast. And we're going to make sense of what's going on here. So first thing we got here, what is the name of this collection? So we had an extended bio and product description listing for the Jazz that's part of this capsule collection with Walmart. And within it, it actually puts the name of what this subline is going to be called, which is oddly absent from the packaging. And we have here, it's called the Toxitron Collection, or the Transformers Legacy Evolution Toxitron Collection. So that leader class is going to be pretty much the face of this branding in a lot of ways. And oddly enough, also a Optimus Prime mold. And the listing here says, a collection of Transformers robots have risen out of the toxic sludge swamps of Cybertron. Toxitron is unleashing radioactive mayhem with a team of toxic warriors. G2 inspired designs. These action figures are inspired by some of the unreleased color designs from the original Generation 2 toy line. Featuring bright neon color schemes, these figures will stand out in your collection. And then, of course, talking about the 40th anniversary of Transformers with Transformers Legacy, collecting characters throughout the years. So this is pretty cool. So it's going to be called the Toxitron Collection. And we have some listings here today, courtesy of JT Prime 17. These are retail computer listings of more figures that'll be available. Now, I can't confirm if these will also be going up on pre-order tomorrow and we'll get to see some images of them. Or is this something that'll be like a potential Wave 1.5 or Wave 2 later on, much like we saw with Velocitron Speedia 500? Can't confirm it, but we'll see definitely tomorrow for sure. But let's talk about what we got here today with these listings. So the first one is a Transformers Generations Legacy Capsule DX Deluxe G2 Mirage. So we got a Toxitron Collection G2 Mirage. This was the ever-famous box art that we saw all those years ago. It first made its worldwide debut back at BotCon 2006 in Kentucky, where we saw all these different unreleased box art throughout the years. And it was just this, I like to call it the Watermelon Mirage, because it's kind of based off of that Hubba Bubba watermelon color scheme, the bubblegum back in the day. And this Mirage was one of the many early pitches for the Autobot car lineup for Generation 2 in 93. Obviously, there was the alternate colors and what we ultimately got in the end. Like the Jazz also had those alternate colors that we talked about yesterday. It was supposed to be, maybe at one point, it was going to be Jazz, it was going to be Sideswipe, and it was going to be Mirage. Instead, we ended up getting Inferno. We don't know why we didn't get Mirage. I mean, some people could debate that maybe because the mold was lost throughout the years or was unusable, or maybe they just wanted some more diversity in that lineup and putting a fire truck instead of just having 3 race cars. Whatever it could be. But there was this interesting green and pink kind of color scheme. And, well, that was that. Years and years later, a hard copy prototype was bought by a Transformer collector named Maz, and he has some in-hand photos of what it kind of looked like. It was a little rough, obviously. So that was pretty much it. You know, there was some third-party stuff here and there, but that was pretty much it, this forgotten, bizarre color scheme for our Formula 1 Transformer Mirage. And now it looks like we're probably going to be getting it. Isn't that wild? Isn't that absolutely crazy? Now, the question is what mold they'll use. I'm assuming, I really hope personally that they take that brand new Kingdom mold that we got that came with Beast Wars Grimlock in that Battle Across Time 2-pack, that Amazon exclusive. But I hope they take that mold, but give it the Siege toy-accurate head on it. And then we'd get definitely a true realization of that original box art, that original idea and toy. That's what I would like. I don't want just a straight-up repaint of the Kingdom one. I'd love to have that original head on it, too. That would be pretty cool. So that one's pretty exciting. That one's probably, that again, I love Formula One Transformers, and it's so out there and so bizarre that how would you not want to get that one? And it's one of those unreleased ideas. Man, anything can happen now with Transformers when this kind of stuff is happening. The next one we got here, and this one is a debatable one of what it might end up being, and I'll explain why in a moment. So we have a Tra-Gen Legacy Capsule DX Deluxe G2 Sideswipe. Now, people might automatically just go, well, it's going to be the black repaint. It's going to be the G2 black repaint Sideswipe that we've gotten historically throughout the years. The original 1993 was that G2 Sideswipe where it all started. Bakan 2010, their custom class was the G2 Sideswipe using the Universe 2.0 mold. People were so angry about that back in the day. They wanted that to be retail. In 2014, we got the pinnacle of G2 Sideswipe, in my opinion, through the Masterpiece. That was the Lambor G2 version. That thing is amazing. If you love G2 Sideswipe, I don't care what Hasbro puts out, that's the best version. It has the spike tires, the face, the guns, 90s as F. I love that thing. Then in 2019, we got the Autobot Alpha Strike Counterforce. That was that multi-pack that was an Amazon exclusive in 2019. That came with the Siege Sideswipe done in G2 colors, and it came with Slam Dance and Trenchfoot, the Weaponizer. Nice little pack and everything. So the belief could be, well, since we already got one from the Siege mold, they're obviously going to take the Amazon exclusive mold from the Battle Across Collection 2-pack in 2021, Sideswipe that came with Skywarp, Beast Wars Skywarp, that 2-pack. So take that brand new tooling, that brand new mold in 2021, and do it in the black color scheme. That's the assumption that people will have. But I have to say something otherwise. Much like how it would have been obvious with Grimlock to do his blue G2 colors, but it's also too simple. Not 90s enough. And maybe the black repaint G2 Sideswipe also might not fall into that category of something that would work out. And I definitely think, much like how also with Jazz, they didn't go with his true G2 colors, they went with the alternate G2 color counterpart. Sideswipe had one too. And that was this radical neon yellow with blue craziness color scheme with a sunset on his chest. It was just wild. And I have a feeling they're going to go with that route because it just fits in with all the other crazy colors that we've seen up to this point. A black repaint with some red just doesn't cut it. There was some original hard copies of that crazy yellow neon blue one. Originally, we saw the box art at BotCon in 2006. But years later, that same individual, Maz, got his hands on the hard copy, and that's what we got here today. Hand-painted, obviously, he's missing the decos, so I'm pretty sure the final version will have even that sunset on the chest. That would just be amazing and wild. But it's pretty crazy. And if you notice, there's a bit of a trend here. You know, the Amazon exclusive tooling from two different Battle Across Time molds, both the Mirage and the Sideswipe, are now free to be used all those years later, 2 to 3 years later after the fact, as late 2023, early 2024 product. Originally Amazon molds, now Walmart molds. So it shows that, you know, after a while, these molds could be freed up and used for something else. So pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to that. That thing's also going to be garishly bright, and if it could get that chest deco with the sunset, that would just seal the deal, in my opinion. Probably one of the less exciting ones of the bunch, but still will give us an idea of what they're planning for the future, even though if we kind of already knew it with a previous Velocitron release. But the Tra-Gen Legacy Capsule Deluxe G2 Deadend. So it looks like we're building up now towards our G2 Menasor team. It's happening again. We all know the story with that. Could give you a quick replay of it. Was going to be part of the original assortment of Generation 2 combiners back in 94, along with Superion and Bruticus. They got canceled, along with a planned G2 Defensor, but made it as far as like the packaging stage. Like there was mint on card samples of these found in the wild and everything like that. Never a mint in box Motormaster was ever found, but at least the limbs were always found. And the belief was, you know, those two combiner teams didn't get released because G2 just had really low sales in 1994 and Project G2 was not working out. Years and years later, in 2016, Combiner Wars obviously did the Stunticons, And they did a box set with the G2 colors, giving it that G2 flavor treatment. It wasn't 100% exact to the G2 colors of the original, but it was pretty close. You know, a good attempt. And we got our first ever full, you know, retail dead end G2 colors through that 2016 Combiner Wars version. Now we got the Legacy one. We got the Deluxe Dead End through that. So no doubt they're going to take that maroon colored Deluxe Class Legacy Dead End, give it that more red, vibrant treatment with the giant Decepticon logo on the chest. And we're going to have yet again another G2 Stunticon member building towards that G2 Menasor. So pretty cool. I mean, not much really I could say. It's probably the least exciting and something we were probably expecting because of the next thing here. Tra-Gen Legacy Capsule DX Shadowstrip PR. So package refresh. This is something where we had the Shadowstrip, which was the G2 drag strip repaint. It was part of the Velocitron Speedia 500 collection. Came out late in the second wave. Had pretty rough distribution. It didn't get distributed very well. That was the one that shipped with Crasher. So I think that Hasbro now really deciding that they're going to be doing that G2 color scheme and the G2 combiners with Menasor, they want to put out that mold a second time, give people an opportunity to pick it up, which I think is fantastic. I think that's really good. And giving people another opportunity to pick up something that potentially would be worth a ton of money later on gives everyone an opportunity to get it. No scalping happens, and everyone is happy. For people that are confused and didn't see the original segment, I think I talked about this like 6 months ago, but Shadowstrip is essentially, according to the designers, it's a new character, but is also intended to be a homage and a throwback to the original G2 dragstrip. Does a fantastic job of doing it, even more so than the Combiner Wars one previously. And it's just going to be one other member towards that Menasor at some point that we will be getting. So pretty cool. Now it's just a matter of, maybe that Galaxy Shuttle, if it gets better distribution at some point, and then everyone will be happy. Last thing to talk about. So now all of these that I just talked about, not confirmed if they will be going up for pre-order tomorrow, but it does show that Hasbro is intending to do more of these wacky kind of color schemes as long as they're sold in store exclusives and everything. Tomorrow is the Walmart Collector Con, March 16th and the 17th, a 2-day event. All kinds of different toy lines, not just Transformers, but a whole bunch of other exclusives and reveals that'll be happening. Starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So at least the stuff that we talked about yesterday will be going up for pre-order. Can't confirm about the stuff that we're talking about here today. These might be stuff that'll show up later, maybe in late 2023, early 2024. But at least it gives us an idea of what's happening. And just, if you were a G2 person, if you liked unreleased Transformer stuff, and G2 has a ton of unreleased Transformer color schemes and everything like that. We're probably going to see Laser Cycle Jazz at some point even. Like it's just crazy what's happening with that. So let me know what you think. This is nuts. I love it. I think this is great. I love G2. I grew up in the 80s and in the early 90s and everything, and it speaks so much to me because of like how wacky these colors are. Let me know what you think. Who would you like to see added now of the plethora of I think there's over 40 different unreleased G2 ideas throughout the years. Who would you like to also see added to this as a repaint of something? I mean, there's so many ideas on the table, and I'm pretty sure if this finds success, they'll continue it. Let me know what you think, guys. Pretty hype stuff, and I'll talk to you again real soon.